Hello again, it's Maurice with Tesla. How are you? So today we're going on a drive with the newest version of FSD Beta. I finally got it. It's 11.4.7, which I'm sure those of you who watch this type of content already know. That has been out for, I don't know, going on a couple weeks now. Maybe it's only been a week, but nevertheless, I felt like I got it kind of later than some of the other YouTubers, and that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to engage full self-driving, and we are going. We've got to go. There's a big old trunk here, and it's kind of a little erratic there, kind of sketched out by a big truck, so kind of a interesting start to this, but that's okay. Anyway, this is more FSD beta testing of the software for Maurice here in my Tesla, which is what I call it. We're going to Seattle today again, similar to another drive I did a while back that had quite a few views. Very interesting video. I'm sure there'll be parts that are sped up so that you're not annoyed with a lot of dead air or space, so we don't want that. But excited to see how the new version does. Okay, coming into this turn pretty well. That's what's fun about this drive. It's got a lot of S-curves. You get to see freeway and all these overpasses, winding up and over hills. Seattle's geography is definitely unique compared to other places I've lived. Grew up in Los Angeles County, near the beach, Torrance. Went to school out there. Great school, but I did also live for a few years in Tucson, Arizona. But both of those places tend to have pretty flat topography. There's, they're both valleys, and north to south grids kind of define what it is to drive around, which I think probably is easier for a full self-driving vehicle if you think about it. Going in straight lines, what's so hard about that, right? So I've mentioned before, the terrain here and the topography and the kind of winding roads make good proving grounds for Tesla's full self-driving program and solving full self-driving, because it can be hairy out here at times. But very excited to know when the version 12 release is coming. That's going to be full AI. They're still training it, using millions of clips, or hundreds of thousands of clips anyways, what it sounds like, to train the software to just look at the world and its surroundings and make decisions based on what it sees in these other clips. How do other cars drive? What do they do? I'll be reporting every little thing that it does wrong. I think that's also critical to get the software to where they want it to be. Anyway, enjoy the ride. We're going to probably cut it quiet here for a bit. We'll see you soon. cars up here merging. And let's see if it's human-like. It does the courteous thing, which is to get over, and it does. Very cool. Good job, Tesla. Give that a solid 9 for a score of humanness and human-like behavior. Very good. Okay, now it's getting in behind a vehicle that's going quite slow, oddly. Maybe it sensed that Eurovan wanting to speed past us, and I guess that's courteous driving. That is human-like. Although if it were me driving, I would have just sped up even more, rather than getting in behind a vehicle that's, you know, going, well, they're not going under the speed limit, but they're right at 60, which is the speed limit right now. They have gained some speed. They're up to 64, kind of like shadowing them or matching their speed, if you will. Okay, now here it is, being quite aggressive. It's tired of following the slow Prius. And asserts itself in between two big trucks. Quite proficiently. Very impressed so far. Traffic here, a little more congested. We do have to get off and kind of cross over. Well, let's see, how is it doing this? Try to look at the map, also pay attention to the road. Looks like it's just going to go down first. Am I right about that? Yeah, so it's not going to get off the freeway. But here's the thing, okay, so it's missed this 40-mile-an-hour speed limit sign before, which it has done again. I'm going to give it one more chance. There's a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit sign up ahead. Can it see it? Does it register it? And no, it does not. So I am going to report that. Bug report. Vehicle missed a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit sign. Having to sort of not slam on its brakes, but definitely a little sharper braking than it should have if it were following the speed limit. Which, to be fair, as you can see, everyone else is breaking the speed limit law, right? They're also going over that bridge. But, you know, and I do agree, you should definitely like stick with the flow of traffic in most cases. But in the future, you know, the vehicle doesn't, when it's like busy there, okay, so sometimes there'll be traffic backed up on that bridge, and where it gets sketchy is, you know, the car's coming up and onto that bridge going 60, and a line of cars are stopped halfway over it, which you can't see. Then it's gonna have to like probably slam on the brakes to avoid an accident, and that's certainly inappropriate and would be a massive failure. So that does need to be reported each and every time. The good news is there have been other things that I've had to report that were issues, and the team did eventually input the data and it got fixed. So I know from my own experience with having this vehicle a year now that FSD and the team that inputs that video or those error reports, those bug reports, they do fix them. They get around to them. It took a year, but they got around to fixing this phantom stop sign issue that I was having with the vehicle. In fact, there's one right there. There's a stop sign that's this angled at just enough of an angle where the car was getting confused as to whether it needed to stop. Anyway, we continue on. Okay, so here it is doing the speed limit, and it should probably get going. Let's go. Come on, Tesla. Flow of traffic. I heard that was part of the update. It's supposed to do flow of traffic, and it's not. So I'm gonna have to manually increase that speed. That's okay. Okay, so now it wants to get over. It's getting over pretty successfully. Definitely some traffic. I'm interested in the route it's chosen. Okay, now it's getting back over. Okay, now it's just lane jumping very annoyingly. I'm not cool with this. I'm gonna have to, no, I'm not letting it jump lanes anymore. Okay, I've got to take over. That was a disengagement. Okay. Vehicle very bizarrely wanted to jump from lane to lane multiple times for no reason. There was a vehicle behind me that was likely being annoyed. So that's a disappointment. Here's something I can do though. I'm going to try a little trick. So this is autopilot. We're going to go minimal lane changes. There's a little feature there that says change lanes minimally. Let's see if it works. That was kind of annoying. Anyway, I'm going to re-engage. Okay. Now, for some reason, it's got its speed limit set at 65, which is incorrect. The speed limit in this tunnel is 45. I'm fudging it a little bit by 5 miles an hour, set it at 50. I'll bug report this also. Bug report. Vehicle is going through a tunnel that has a speed limit of 45 miles an hour and it is set at 65 incorrectly. Okay, so we're doing the training. The important work is training it, giving it good data, giving it good feedback. Here's the full self-driving, maybe degraded warning of a different sort than the one we had earlier. This one says poor GPS location accuracy, because obviously we're in a tunnel. That's alright. Okay. What's it gonna do here? Wants to get off the freeway, or does it? It's kind of slowing down. Needs to make a choice. Now it's going 25. Okay, now it's finally figured it out that it's safe. Okay. So we are in control. I'm not taking over here, but it's being a little erratic here. It's riding on the bumpy bumps, shoulder line. This is an interesting route it's taken. Now it says no turn on red. I'm going to have to wait. So that was an error also. Vehicle did not obey a do not turn on red sign for this turn. turn signal on. Kind of in the crosswalk. Luckily, nobody's in it. Okay. So, a couple disengagements. A little disappointing, but the new version, the full AI end-to-end, is coming soon, and really this is just probably going to be obsolete. Anyway, this is downtown Seattle. Tricky environment. Lots of cars, lots of action, pedestrians. This is the real stuff. This is real beta testing at its finest. When robotaxis become a thing, which they will eventually, this is probably where they'll be used most, is this type of okay, it's making a left here very successfully. A little hesitant, but I'm not going to dock it too much. I would give that about a 7 out of 10 on performance of how a human drives. But these city streets and environments are really the big test. It's always the biggest cities in the world that use the most transportation services, such as taxis, buses, light rails, you name it. This is where it goes down, obviously, because who needs to take a taxi in some little small town? It's just not, I mean, I'm sure they do, but it's not sustainable. Although I think even out there in the more rural areas, there'll be some benefit to this. You know, I think right off the top of my head, one thing it would help with and probably prevent a lot of unnecessary deaths and whatnot would be to drive people that have been out drinking from driving home. They can just get in a robo-taxi. You know, nowadays I think a lot of people do use Uber after they've been out all night drinking. So it's coming along some little pillar cones here that it's generally fearful of, but it did very well there. But yeah, I think it would help a lot to have this. That's a double yellow line. I don't think this guy can do this. Hold on. I don't think he can do that, guy. So I'm gonna have to give a little bit of thing there. Well, he did it. It's not supposed to. I think in Washington State, the law says do not cross double yellow lines. Maybe I'm wrong. No, there's another guy there. Oh, I see. They painted the line, but it wasn't supposed to be painted. Haha. Okay, very busy, very trafficy right here. The car is ignoring all these people that want to jump into our lane. Okay, that's very smart. It knew not to go in the bus lane. I love that. It does have its turn signal on, which it needs to stop. Okay, it did. Good job. This is good. I like it. Not easy driving down here, even for a human. So, we're getting close. We're getting close to the real thing. The robots are coming. Okay, we're now leaving downtown and we're heading up into what's known as Capitol Hill. Also, just a note, the vehicle's never done this route. I'm going to pick up my daughter who's at a friend's house up here. Had a sleepover. And so this particular route is 100% yeah, like I said, new and unknown. So for it to behave as smoothly as it is, I'm actually pretty impressed right now. There is a lot of cars, a lot of traffic. Okay, interesting. There's a truck here that's got its big butt out in the way. Oh, he got out of the way just in time so that Tesla didn't have to. I was hoping it would stay there so we could see if the car actually just went around it like those other humans did. But still doing good. Okay, we got people honking. It's not for us. I hope. Okay, it's getting a little erratic with the wheel just for a second. In control. Okay, making a nice turn here. Yep. Good speed, good acceleration, good turning. It sees a person with a dog. A couple jerks to the left on the wheel. Probably thinking that person with the dog might start walking, but it did not. Okay, now it's hugging this shoulder lane, which is kind of inappropriate. Okay, now it's stopping for pedestrian, which is amazingly cool. Good job. Now you can go. Awesome, like that. So, you know, that's the kind of stuff that humans don't pick up on. There's lots of accidents down here, sadly. You know, pedestrians, you can see them, they're everywhere up here. Super vibrant, super, you know, busy environment with lots of pedestrians crossing streets, bicyclists, skateboarders, now everyone's on the scooters and, you know, zipping around, and this car is really, really good at catching these things far before they become an issue. Whereas, you know, I'm always hearing in the news, well, I don't really watch the news anymore, but when I used to, it was a thing that you would see, like, there's been an accident, and see, there goes a one wheel. I just saw one wheel and another, like a uno wheel or whatever those are called. Oh, shit, sorry. So sorry, I didn't notice there was a person in the alley trying to come out. But really, they just have to wait. I mean, come on, this is a crazy environment. I'm not going to just pull out of the way so that some car that's trying to take an odd route can cut off other cars that are next to me. Okay. Vehicle's doing very well at shadowing these cars in front of me. Staying with the flow of traffic. Aware of everything going on. These streets are kind of beat up, kind of loud. Again, I want to get the microphone because I just think, as much as I do love Teslas in general, I would think in the future they'll do more to make their cars quieter, because they do tend to have a noisy ride, is the best way I can put it. Noisier than some of my other cars in the past. I owned a BMW. That car was very, very quiet. And also my Lexus SUV was also very well soundproofed, if you will. Whereas this Tesla, it's not quite a tin can sound, but there's definitely, like, you can just hear the wind whooshing, you can hear the road underneath us, the bumps, you kind of feel them. Their suspension is a little stiffer than I think they would like in the future as well. So if there would be two critiques on Tesla's sort of build of their vehicles. Two areas they can improve on is like their sound, reduction inside the vehicle, and then the suspension of the vehicle can be improved, I think. Okay, so it's getting a little tripped up here. I'm going to let it sort it out, and it is right. It's got this car. Oh, this person is not driving very well, so I did have to disengage because this car is way too close. I'm going to turn right and re-engage. Vehicle hesitated and got close to another driver who, quite honestly, was driving poorly. So there's another bug report. We're re-engaged. Very tight streets in Seattle, similar to San Francisco, where a lot of the other big YouTuber beta testers are located. But, you know, 'tis what it is. Okay, stopping way behind the stop sign. I'm going to have to give it some throttle, so it's another intervention. Okay, but again, we know this is tough driving here. I do think it could have got closer to that crosswalk before it decided to stop. Because sometimes what it does at these crosswalks is it'll like stop at them twice. So here it doesn't have a stop sign and it's wanting to stop, so I'm forcing it through there. Another intervention. We got a pedestrian here. Is it going to stop for her? I would let her go. The car did not, so that's another intervention. Okay. Okay. Re-engage. This is a detour route. I'm seeing detour signs. There's just some weird stuff going on here with the roads. But, you know, this is honest to goodness testing, as I've said. Really hard stuff. Low visibility, tight, narrow roads, pedestrians coming out of nowhere. It's a freaking war zone for a robot learning to drive. It's just like a minefield kind of a thing. It's like if you sent your toddler out into a minefield to sweep it, you know. That's kind of what this car's having to endure. Okay, so it did get in the correct lane here. We have to take a left up ahead, and that other lane to my right is a turn only. I don't think it knew that, but very intelligently it got in the left lane where we need to be. I did engage that setting of minimal lane changes, so maybe that had something to do with it. Is it possible that because it knows it's going to have to take a left up ahead, it just went ahead and got in the left lane early instead of toggling back and forth like it was doing before we entered that tunnel? Because that was very bizarre. I've never seen it do that, actually. So it's certainly some regressions. It's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back with these newer updates. I think that will continue. FSD is a tricky thing to solve. Elon Musk has admitted it in the past, but doing full vision is his plan, and he still believes in it. And others also have grown to agree. Kind of, you know, those that were a little uncertain have come around. Okay, so it's not getting in the left lane, but it wants to turn left. It's got to go. Okay, so it saw a car come in, it saw a dude bent over doing stuff, and it just went for it. So good job, Tesla. It managed to successfully. Whoa, now we got to. Oh my goodness, this is outrageously hard for it. Come on, get over it, Tesla. this is hard. Look at this. Look at this. We just went over like a cobblestone road with a cement truck flying by it. Like a maniac. Got two cars in front of us that are also, you know, just another obstacle for it. Okay. Got around that roundabout decently. It's kind of in the middle of the lane. There's a car coming at us. Let's see how it does this. So it's getting up. Now it's just completely stopped. Is it gonna get over right, further right? There you go. Oh, I lost my water bottle, but that was good. This is what I was waiting for. Actually, in the last iteration, it would get over, but then at the last minute, when the car was like just trying to pass us, it would fail and swerve back like right towards their bumper, which freaked me out, and I had to disengage more than once. Okay, so it says autopilot navigation complete, and that's cool. We are here, so I'm gonna leave it there. Enjoy. That was the first trip so far on this iteration, and we'll see what we get in future drives. This is Maurice with Tesla telling you to go out in the world, kick some butt, take some names, have a great day. Boom.